Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into the most compelling and talked about stories in politics, culture, and society. Today, we are unpacking a fiery political drama in South Africa that's been making headlines: Julius Malema, the leader of the economic freedom fighters, and his latest critique of former President Jacob Zuma. This is a story of power, politics, and the clash of ideals, with tensions boiling over in public statements and online debates. Stick around as we explore the nuances of this ongoing feud and its implications for South African politics. To understand why this is such a big deal, we need to go back a few steps and look at the broader context. Julius Malema, once a prominent member of the African National Congress and leader of its youth league, left the ANC under contentious circumstances to form the EFF in 2013. His fiery rhetoric, radical economic policies, and willingness to challenge the status quo have made him one of the most polarizing figures in South African politics. Jacob Zuma, on the other hand, is a veteran of South African liberation politics, known for his role in the anti-apartheid struggle and his presidency from 2009 to 2018. However, Zuma's time in office was plagued by allegations of corruption and state capture, leaving his legacy deeply divisive. These two figures, Malema and Zuma, represent different eras and approaches to South African politics. Zuma, despite his controversies, remains a figure of loyalty for many within the ANC and its supporters, particularly those who feel marginalized in post-apartheid South Africa. Malema, meanwhile, has built his political brand on criticizing corruption and advocating for economic justice, often targeting Zuma and the ANC as symbols of the failures of the current system. Their paths have intersected before, most notably during Malema's visit to Zuma's Nkandla residence in 2021, widely referred to as the tea meeting. This meeting, at the time, sparked speculation about a potential alliance or at least a softening of tensions. But as Malema himself has now clarified, the visit was not a gesture of support but rather an attempt to persuade Zuma to cooperate with the Zondo Commission investigating state capture. Fast forward to today, and Malema's recent remarks suggest that any semblance of cooperation or alignment between the two is firmly off the table. In a public address, Malema declared that the EFF would never align itself with individuals accused of misusing public funds. This statement, aimed squarely at Zuma, underscores Malema's effort to position the EFF as a party of integrity and accountability, a direct contrast to the ANC, which has struggled with numerous corruption scandals over the years. Malema also dismissed the MK party, led by Zuma, as a mere splinter group of the ANC, suggesting that it holds little significance in the broader political landscape. These comments have reignited debates about the role of accountability in South African politics and the challenges of maintaining moral authority in a system riddled with allegations of corruption. While Malema's stance against corruption aligns with the EFF's official position, critics have pointed out that his party is not without its controversies. The VBS Mutual Bank scandal, in which EFF leaders were implicated in the looting of millions of rands, has cast a shadow over the party's claims of moral high ground. During Malema's recent remarks, an audience member even heckled him with a pointed question about the VBS scandal, highlighting the ongoing scrutiny the EFF faces. The tensions between Malema and Zuma also speak to larger divisions within South Africa's political landscape. The ANC, once the unifying force of the liberation movement, has fragmented into factions, with groups like the MK party representing a breakaway attempt by Zuma loyalists. The EFF, on the other hand, has positioned itself as a radical alternative to the ANC, focusing on issues like land redistribution and economic empowerment. Malema's critiques of Zuma and the ANC are part of a broader effort to distinguish the EFF from its rivals and appeal to voters disillusioned with the current state of governance. But Malema's approach is not without risks. His fiery rhetoric, while effective in mobilizing supporters, can also alienate potential allies and voters who see it as too extreme. His decision to publicly distance the EFF from Zuma and the MK party may strengthen his image as a principled leader, but it could also limit his party's ability to build coalitions and expand its base. Similarly, the unresolved questions about the VBS scandal continue to undermine the EFF's claims of being a corruption-free party. For Zuma, the fallout from Malema's remarks further isolates him politically. As the leader of the MK party, Zuma has struggled to maintain relevance in a political environment increasingly defined by calls for accountability and reform. His refusal to cooperate fully with the Zondo Commission and his ongoing legal battles have only deepened the perception of him as a symbol of the corruption and mismanagement that have plagued South Africa in recent years. While he retains a loyal following, particularly among those who view him as a victim of political persecution, his influence is far from what it once was. This clash between Malema and Zuma is not just about their personal differences, it's a reflection of the broader challenges facing South Africa. The country continues to grapple with issues like unemployment, inequality, and a struggling economy, all of which have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Corruption and mismanagement have further eroded public trust in political institutions, making the need for effective and accountable leadership more urgent than ever. In this context, the tensions between Malema and Zuma are a microcosm of the larger struggle to define South Africa's political future. Looking ahead, the question is whether Malema's bold stance against Zuma and the MK party will strengthen his position or backfire. Will voters see the EFF as a party of integrity and accountability, or will the lingering controversies like the VBS scandal undermine its message? And for Zuma, what does the future hold for him and the MK party? Can he rebuild his political influence, or will his legal troubles and tarnished legacy continue to overshadow his efforts? These are the questions that will shape South Africa's political landscape in the coming months and years. As we watch these events unfold, it's clear that the stakes are high, not just for Malema and Zuma, but for the entire country. Their actions and decisions will have far-reaching implications, influencing not only the trajectory of their respective parties but also the broader direction of South African politics. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the dynamics between Julius Malema, Jacob Zuma, and the evolving political scene in South Africa. If you found this discussion insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Malema's stance will pay off, or is he risking too much by taking such a strong position? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.